Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I invite any colleagues who are interested in the issue of maternal mortality to join me here at the well. So this morning, colleagues, like many of you, I attended Eggs and Issues sponsored by the Georgia Chamber of Commerce. I am so pleased to hear that healthcare is among their priorities. And I was so encouraged to hear that it is a priority of this House, this session, to increase access to healthcare and provide better outcomes for Georgia families. Georgia's mothers desperately need better outcomes. The House Democratic Caucus held a hearing on maternal mortality last week. I had the great privilege of sitting on that committee. Many groups who dedicate themselves to this issue testified before the committee. They were professionals, doctors, nurses, academics, organizers, and we also heard directly from women who either had had a near-death experience during childbirth or lost someone they loved during childbirth. And woman after woman shared their souls with us, their most painful moments, in the hopes that we can do something to change maternal outcomes for our fellow Georgians. I had a harrowing experience the first time I gave birth. If my good friend, who happened to be an OB nurse, hadn't advocated for me, I don't know what would have happened. And my guess is that every one of us in this chamber has either had such an experience personally or knows someone who has had such an experience or has lost someone they love during childbirth. Because even though having a child is a natural thing, it is also an extremely dangerous thing. I have 3 kids. As a mom, I remember kissing my children as I went to go give birth at the hospital, and it was this crazy conflation of feelings, this excitement that I was going to bring a new life into the world, into my home, but also a fear that if, God forbid, something should happen to me during childbirth, I would not see my children on this earth again. And the truth is that that fear, that risk, it's higher for my Black sisters. Black women in Georgia are 3.3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women are. Georgia has one of the worst maternal mortality rates in the country, 3rd highest in the country. And by the way, it's getting worse, not better. I used to refer to the death of women during childbirth in Georgia as a crisis, the maternal mortality crisis, but after last week's hearing, I'm going to adopt new nomenclature that I think more accurately describes what is happening here in Georgia. It is a state of emergency. Women and babies are dying. Black women and Black babies are dying. These are tragedies that do not have to happen. Over half of them are preventable. And so this is a call for action. We will continue beating this drum. Colleagues, I invite you all to join us. Let's pass some legislation and save precious lives. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.